Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and today I'm going to show you what you've all been asking for. On this channel, I get a ton of requests to see my storage system. And honestly, I don't think it's that exciting, but apparently you guys do. So everybody's been asking me to go more in depth into how I store my Lego. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to show you guys how I do this. I'm going to show you through these bins here, what my logic is. Keep in mind, everybody is different, so what works well for me might not work well for you. I know a lot of people like to sort by piece. I kind of sort by piece and color. It just works best for me. I can find everything easier. I also like to keep a small amount of everything right here at my fingertips and then keep my bulk storage off to the side. I'm going to show you that as well. Everyone's been asking to see it. I'm sorry it's not beautiful. It's still work in progress, but I'll show it to you anyway. That's just fine. I've also got some bins over on that side. I'll show you that next. But let's go ahead and get started with the wall here. This is definitely the bulk of my useful pieces. This is pretty much everything I use when building a mock. Unless I need some more large pieces that don't fit in these bins, that would come out of bulk storage. So right here you can see I have 5 rows. My end goal, this should eventually all just be different bins of colored parts. This last column here is specialty stuff, except for those 3 top bins right there. This is all going to change at some point. I'll show you that when I talk about this side over here, what's going on that side. But let's go through what I have here right now. In this first row, this is my grayscale. So I've got 3 bins of black, old school dark gray, 3 bins of dark gray, old school light gray, 3 bins of light gray, 3 bins of white, and then I have silver at the top. Silver is up there because it goes next to gold. That's got all my gold, pearl gold, metallic gold, and everything related to gold in there. 3 bins of tan. This here is my light nougat and dark nougat. And then these 3 bins are my medium nougat. That's obviously a lot more popular of a color, a lot more common of a color is what I really should say, than the other 2 nougats. So I have 3 bins of that, just like my tan and my grayscale here. 2 bins of dark tan, 3 bins of reddish brown, 1 bin of old school brown, 1 bin of dark brown. From the top here we have lime green. This bin is mostly bright green, but a little bit of yellowish green in there as well. Regular green, 2 bins, sand green, olive green, dark green. This is light aqua. And then all my blues, I got my azures, my turquoise. What are these ones called? I always forget. Medium blue and bright light blue, I believe. Sand blue, regular blue, and dark blue. I have a ton of regular blue, but a lot of it is old-fashioned parts, so bulk pieces, bricks, plates, all that, which is in my bulk storage, so I only really need 1 bin of that. Right here we've got light yellow, yellow, orangish yellow, orange, reddish orange, and coral mixed. Dark orange has 2 bins, regular red has 2 bins, dark red has 2 bins, pink, magenta and dark pink, lavender, darker lavender, and purple down here. And then the only 3 colored bins on this side are my transparent pieces. The top one is transparent clear and black. Then I got my blues and greens, my yellows, oranges, reds, and pinks in that 3rd one. I'll go through these specialty bins with you one by one, but I do want to show you how I lay this stuff out. So let me zoom in on the table here and I'll show you how I break these bins down. So I pulled some bins down to use as an example, and I'm going to start with tan. I chose tan because I have 3 bins of it, and it's fairly organized right now. Now, if you're curious about these bins, I did a whole video on that I link people to all the time, because people constantly ask about these bins. They are Plano tackle boxes. I get them pretty much exclusively at Walmart because it is the cheapest place to buy them. I'll put a link here if you want to check it out and learn more about these bins. As you can see, I have a labeling system on the front. I glue a piece of base plate on there, and that will determine what goes in each bin. So in any given bin, the first one is always cheese slopes. It's a piece I have in pretty much every color, and they look good in the front of the bin. This is just all the weird pieces. It can be slopes and things, it can be detail pieces, certain types of masonry bricks, anything unique that I don't want to just lose in bulk storage goes in here. The next one's always labeled with a tile, and that's going to indicate plates and tiles. So my plates and tiles, I always have plate on the left side, tile on the right side, and then it gets into weirder stuff like jumpers, round things, all that kind of stuff in here. but pretty much all just plates and tiles and variations of that. The third one is labeled with these clips, and that is going to indicate clips and snot. I've always got my clip pieces up here, anything that will have a attachment point with a clip, and then snot stuff. I've got brackets, I've got snot bricks, all different sizes. That's what goes in bin 3. That system has worked pretty well for me. I am getting a little full on my grayscale bins. Black, dark gray, gray, and white are all getting pretty full, so I may have to add a 4th bin eventually. I do have the retired colors in that column, so those can come out and I can add more bins there. On retired colors, I always just use a plate. So that's how I know it's like an old-fashioned color, not a current one. If it's a plate, not a tile. So those are my tans. Now for a lot of colors, I only have 1 bin. If it's a more scarce color, this is sand green here, everything goes in 1. As this expands, I will add more bins. This will probably be one when I make the rest of the wall colored bins. This will probably turn into 2 bins. I usually do videos of those when I do them, so you may have seen that in the past. But that one will probably eventually graduate into 2 bins. Now when I'm starting out with a new color, they'll often be combined. These are 2 colors I don't own a lot of. I've got coral on this side and reddish orange, a new color, on that side. Obviously my end goal is eventually to have a bin of each, but for now it doesn't make sense to do that, so I've got them sharing. So that's not uncommon too, and then I'll just split the cheese slopes 50-50 on the front. So over here next to my build station, I have just a folding table for now. I eventually want to put a more permanent desk here. Next to my Lego City, I'm not going to show you the Lego City because I have a lot of stuff stashed in there for future videos. But here are some other bins that just don't fit on the wall. This is all my plant stuff and an animal bin, and then I've got different types of bars, candlesticks, pin connectors, Technic stuff, and hinges down here. I'll show you these bins here over in our table, but I want to talk about the goal for this area. Fairly soon, I want to build another storage rack just like the one on the other wall, but I want it right here. And it's only going to be 2 columns, not 5. So it's just going to take up this space right here and go up. And it will be the same thing, 15 bins high, just like my other one. And there will likely be a shelf joining the 2 at the top. But that is going to eventually all be specialty pieces over here. So bricks on that wall, specialty over here, and then a little nicer table would be nice as well. That's where the obelisk is staying for now. Might stay there, we'll see. Kind of in the way, but it looks cool, so I like having it there. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's in some of these specialty bins. So first off, this is everything that was on the main wall here on the right-hand side. First bin here is windows. This is all my smaller windows. My larger ones, like the full pane windows, I keep in a bulk bin just because I have so many of them and they're so big. This one here is windows and doors that go in, like the full pane and just regular doors there. So I keep that stuff on hand in a bin. It organizes it nicely. This is fences, all different types of fences. And this is all transparent, either panels, windows, or windshields. And I have a lot more bulk windshield stuff somewhere else. But the windows and stuff, the larger windows are real handy, so I keep those in a bin here. This bin is ladders and some other specialty pieces. I don't use this very much, so I might mix this up. Some of the stuff might just go into bulk, and the ladders might go into a different bin. We'll see. This one was kind of an experiment. This bin here is all axles, steering wheels, some fender pieces. I don't use this stuff very much. I don't build a lot of vehicles, but I need to start because my city's going to need some more cars soon. So I might be digging through this a little bit sooner rather than later. This here is going to be wheels and tires. Now I have like 10 times this in a box, in a bin, but this is just for a little bit of everything that I have at my fingertips, so I can do wheels without having to dig through a giant bin. This is all my specialty minifig accessories, food, sports stuff, dishes, tools, things like that. Love that bin. This is a newer one I've been working on. I'm not totally satisfied with it yet, but I've got like gems, flames, mirrors, ropes, and chains. Just some other stuff that didn't really belong in that first bin there. This is a newer bin that I really do like. This is all of my printed tiles. Not all, but most of my printed tiles, broken down in different categories there. All in one spot. This bin has containers of different types and chairs. Not too exciting. And this bin is things that I've built for various different either videos or mocks that I've kept to use in the future. So just detail pieces, so if I don't have to rebuild it, like here I can pull out like this stove, that was from a video I did a long time ago, pop it into a mock somewhere without having to rebuild it and rethink through it. So I do keep some of that stuff on hand. I don't take it all apart if I really like the particular piece and want to use it in the future. So now we have all the bins that were on the side table. First off is flowers. This is all my different flower pieces. I don't have enough slots in this, so some of them are kind of combined. Might do some more work on this bin, but it is a bin I absolutely love. I like all my plant bins. Branches and stems, always handy. This is different leaf pieces, whether it's the 3 leaves with the stem on it, bamboo pieces, ferns, and similar items there. I have 5 different plant bins. This is the only bin in my collection that holds just one unique mold of piece, and that is the 3-leaf piece bin. Probably my favorite bin in the entire collection. These are my limb pieces, branches, limbs, whatever you want to call them. And this one here is animals. Just various miscellaneous animals I've collected. Just so when you need one, you know where to find it. This is a bin that you might think I would combine this stuff into the colored bins, and I might at some point. But for some reason, I like having my candlesticks and pin connectors separate. I use both these pieces a lot. I even have a little bit of Technic stuff in here and some Technic connectors just to be handy with this. But I do use these a lot. I could put them in with the colors, but I haven't decided to do that yet. They work kind of well like this. So that's how I've got them. Very similar, I do the same thing with my bar pieces. I've got all these different bars, different lengths, colors. I keep them all together. I don't particularly know why. They probably should go with their respective colors, but I kind of like them like this. So maybe in the future, we'll see. Occasionally my brain just works differently and it wants to have things sorted by type of piece instead of color. So like I said, everyone has a different way of working this, and some things work better for others. Some things work better for some than others. This is all my Technic connectors, pins and things. I don't use this stuff too often. I don't do a lot of Technic builds. Technic pieces. Nothing too exciting there. I have 3 bins of different hinges and turntables. This is all turntables and different hinges here. This one has all the ratcheting hinges in it. And this final one has other hinges and then the ball and socket, mixel joints, whatever you want to call them. So that's it for my bins. I'm not going to go through every colored bin because that's just way too much to show. Let's go ahead and take a look at the elusive Brick Sculpt bulk storage that everyone wants to see so badly. So last but not least, the long-awaited bulk storage. Now this is a mess. I know it looks terrible, but this is where I'm keeping it for now. I am working on a better solution for this, or I will be working on it. I'm not right now. But just know this is a temporary fix. And I'm sorry if it's shaky. I have to film this while I hold it. So this bookshelf here is just kind of projects, bins of shame, anything. I have a lot. I got like my bulk windows in here, landscaping stuff. Like I use all these green plates for elevation, bulk plates. This is kind of what I use for like my riverbeds here, just mixed stuff. There's Obelisk 1.0. So just random storage there. But this is my bulk brick storage. I know these don't line up. I've just got these stacked kind of funny. But the bin sizes do make sense for me. So down here in these bigger ones, this is all my bulk black. And as I've said in the past, I have a large Lego collection. I do not have a huge Lego collection. But these do hold a ton. This is all my newer light gray. That shouldn't be in there. White. Old gray. This is my dark gray, bulk, and just all kinds of stuff. Everything, you know, real big stuff, real small stuff. It's all in there. Old school dark gray, tan, reddish brown, old school brown, don't have a lot of that. You know, orange, very little bulk orange, green. And then over here, the primary colors, we got red, yellow, and blue. Lots of that stuff just because it's all classic pieces I don't use very much, but I use it for filler like underneath the city and things like that. These bins down here are bagged pieces that don't fit anywhere. So this is all plants. I got stems, I got leaves, branches, anything bulk plants that don't fit in my plant bins, I just throw them in here. This one's all masonry bricks. I got bags of pretty much every color in here for when I build a certain building. If I have a certain color I'm using, I'll just pull the bag out and build out of there. I keep a small amount in the bins on the wall, but if I'm building a whole building, I need to pull from here. And this is just extra stuff. I use this to refill the bins on the wall. All kinds of just different. It's actually not very full right now. I usually have more in here. I've been doing a lot of sorting lately. But just all kinds of different bulk pieces. Most stuff I've gotten off Pick-a-Brick. Just anything I have a lot of. So that is my bulk storage. I know it's not beautiful, but hopefully in the future it will be, and that will be a future video. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this informative and useful. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.